you should. This is the season
For what?
for British Bake Off.
Oh,
It's always it's
it's the
always
reason
in
for
the
the season.
fall,
I thought you meant
and
this was like a special season. This is a season where shit goes down.
it's the British Bake Off season, and then after this, they're gonna run, of course, the Christmas British Bake
Yep,
Off, which is usually not as good in my
never
opinion.
is no.
So
Because it's not. There's no
not the same
stakes to it.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like one episode or
the,
something. Like
they bring back their favorite people, and then Paul and Prue go, "Oh, this is great," and it never is.
it's not
They're
that great.
like they're amateur bakers still, right? Like,
Some are way better than amateur, but most of the people that they bring back
they're
weren't good enough to win.
no, they're never good enough to win. Season 8 favorite left in episode 2. I'm like, no, they're not a
because
favorite. They left in episode 2.
because they put too much salt. They put salt instead of sugar.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
won't get me twice.
they're a fan favorite because like the pie fell out of the whole bottom, right? There was like nothing to it, right? Or they had to do like some sort of like weird cookie, or I'm sorry, biscuit statue, and the biscuit statue looked phallic or something like that. That's why everybody's fan favorite. Yeah,
See, that's the thing we don't know. It's British, right? So they could be very popular over there. They
that's true.
over here, over
I
here,
doubt
like,
it though. I doubt it.
they parlayed it into the British dance competition. I don't know
Yep.
what's the one we have now? The
Dancing with the
Stars.
Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. They parlayed it into one of those. Did you see Carl Winslow on Dancing with the Stars?
No, I did not.
Oh, he's too old to be on that show.
I don't think Carl Winslow was ever like Dancing with the Stars material.
No. But they're like, he's doing this. Ladies are dancing behind him. He's just like this.
He's like
Just some slight head movement.
like your old uncle at a wedding.
It's so bad. And she's doing all the dancing around him, and looking, and he's just like, oh, Mr. Winslow, please get off the show immediately and go back home. Take a
I
Metamucil.
I have never once watched a single minute of that show, and I think I'm fine for it.
The athletes used to win. Jerry Rice won it once. Emmitt Smith won it once. Now they've got Dwight Howard on the show this season.
Don't know. Wouldn't care. That and like the Masked Singer. I'll
Yeah.
never watch the Masked Singer.
I'm going to see Dancing with the Stars past winners.
Well, I'll never
It's a
watch The
bit-
Voice either. Don't care.
So of the winners, they have Amon Shumpert won season 30.
There's
So
30
he's a
seasons of this.
that's what it says.
They must do. They
Yes.
must do 2 a year or some.
Must do 2 a year. Keeping in the athlete, Rashard Jennings won season 24. Okay. Donald Driver won season 14.
Boo. I see enough Donald Driver here in Wisconsin.
Hines Ward won season 12.
Hines Ward, really?
Yep. Emmitt Smith won season 3. Oh, Jerry Rice won it. He did not win it. So it was Jerry Rice. So there's other athletes on there. Christine Yamaguchi. I think Kelly Monaco's a. Yes, there are. J.R. Martinez. There's been a few athletes that have won it.
Any former Giants? Tiki
No.
Barber? I bet you Tiki Barber was on Dancing with the Stars. Eli would be a good Dancing with the Stars guy.
Eli knows he can't dance. That's where Eli draws. That's where he
I
draws
bet
the
I
line.
guarantee he's been
That's
asked
what-
in the.
That's of course.
He's got
Yes,
too
either
much
him
pride to be on Dancing with the Stars.
or Peyton. One of they've been
been
asked.
Yeah.
And next you'll see it'll be one of the Kelseys. They'll be asked.
Oh, I guarantee the Kelseys will do it. I guarantee one of them will dress up as they'll dance together. One will be in a dress, and they'll alternate every week. They're goofy.
No, you're right. Tiki Barber and Eli are probably Amani Toomer would have it. Victor Cruz would have some cat shade.
Oh yeah, so yeah, like just recently was like the anniversary of his his salsa dance celebrity or his celebration.
Yeah, it's like I said, my favorite wide receiver
Yeah.
to put on the New York Giants uniform.
For how
My
long?
favorite.
How long is he gonna be your favorite?
Oh, we have to see. We have to see if Neighbors keeps taking hits like this, his career may not be.
So that Thursday night game when it was going on, I sent you the ooh face when he went
Yeah.
down, and I thought he hurt himself because he took the football to the dick. Like it looked like he was trying to impregnate that football. And I'm like, oh, he just knocked his nuts back, and then I'm like, that's what happened. Nope, he was concussed and
He
he
was
impregnated the
concussed.
football. He went down on that thing hard. I'm
Yeah.
like, that had to hurt.
Yeah, it was he just and the thing was his face just hit the it's like you said, genitals to football, and then the next followed his head into the turf.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. The football acted like a fulcrum, when,
Yes,
when,
which tilted him. Yep.
which came just enough, and he hit the crown of his head on the ground. Concussion.
I was like,
It was
oh,
almost an amazing catch.
yes, yes, he should have caught
He should have caught, and
it.
that might have been one of those things that like led to a win. But
Yes, but instead, we got the L.
yes,
We
got
got
the
the L. It wasn't a bad game.
no, it wasn't.
The defense, once again, just it's. I feel like this time, of all the credit I was giving them the last 2 weeks with the blitzes that they were doing, they respected Dak Prescott way too much.
Mm-hmm.
They did not send any blitzes his way. They tried to generate pass rush with the front four without pretty much any help from cornerbacks, without help from safeties. And well, we were down two cornerbacks. Rookie standout so far, Drew Phillips was out,
Mm-hmm.
and we had I think Cordell Flott. No, Adoree Jackson was out, which made Cordell Flott play, which makes Cordell Flott gets abused.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they put up 20 points. We still should have been able to do it. We got into the red zone multiple times, came away with zero
They only
touchdowns.
put up 20 points, and one of them was on that CD Lamb 55-yarder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was, we should have definitely, that was one of those games where the Giants will look back and be like, this is one we should have had.
The Cowboys are crazy unimpressive. Like I can't get
Oh.
over how unimpressive they are. And then Micah got hurt in that game.
And so did DeMarcus Lawrence,
Yes.
who's they just threw him on IR today.
Yeah.
Mike is walking around limping
High
badly
ankle sprain.
and
Yeah.
and with a scooter on.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
That's their defense.
And
And if they
they
don't,
were barely passable as an NFL defense prior to that.
yeah,
Like they only put up 20 in for the high-powered offense. Dak was very efficient, 22,
he was
27.
efficient.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop him. It wasn't you can't stop him when you don't send anyone at him.
Yeah, only got to him once. They didn't rush the ball very well, which is their MO.
Yep.
They stopped
They
the
don't
rush
have
just
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Giants,
That's more on our offensive line. I think Singletary does a nice job back there. Our offensive line got no push this game. There was
yeah,
no holes for him to maneuver in. Um,
he had a
they
DeAndre
they
Swiftian sort of day,
yeah,
14 for
they keep him
24.
clean. They
Yeah.
keep him clean. They've been keeping DJ clean. He didn't look bad throwing the ball.
No, he was,
Like
yeah.
I said, he's missing on those deep passes. Even on that pass where, oh man, neighbors juke the mess out of that guy till he hit the ground. He was wide open and still
Underthrew.
DJ underthrew it, had him backpedaling slowly to catch the ball.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta throw him, you gotta throw him open, man.
Man, so that when that throw happened, I'm like, how is Neighbors that open? Like he's just standing there by himself on the sideline.
Yes.
There's nobody within 10 yards of him. I'm like, what is going
Yes.
on? They showed the replay and the dude just like eating dirt or eating turf
Yeah, it was,
back 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. I'm
they
like,
gave him a
man,
move. He fell and he was wide open, and still he airmailed it. I'm like, come on, man.
Neighbors had 15 targets and 12 catches.
He should have had 20. He should have had 20.
Wandale Robinson had 14 targets and 11 catches.
Yep.
But Wandale Robinson is always those short over the middle throws,
Yes.
which is a good compliment to Neighbors. They still don't have that.
Darius Slayton is supposed to be the deep threat, but it doesn't matter because he's not throwing it deep.
Yeah.
Or when he's throwing it deep, he's throwing it too long.
Yeah.
He's not underthrowing it. He's throwing like he's grossly overthrowing them,
If you're
and it
gonna
looks bad.
miss long, I guess, right? You don't
Miss
want
Long,
you don't want to miss short.
he's being a little cautious. He has not run the ball a lot, and I think they're either telling him, no, 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 don't fear. You have a clean pocket. Don't just wait. Like he's for years he's been running fear for his life, and now they're like, calm down. Let's slow down. The pocket's not there. I think I saw that the Giants give him like 2.5 seconds with a clean pocket before the pocket begins to collapse. I think it's like
Mm-hmm.
second in the league in that regard. So he has time.
Mm-hmm.
He's just either overthrowing it, still not afraid to step into those throws to get bring the nose of the football down. I don't know what's going on with his deep throw, but I said it last week. And this week, it's the same thing. We're just not hitting on the deep throws. If we hit on the deep throws, our offense will look so much different, so
Mm-hmm.
much better. And there was some drop passes from our tight ends that are giving us absolutely nothing except holding penalties. They're giving us a lot of those. Um, what else was it? I think Devin Singletary fumble again? I think he fumbled and they recovered it this time. I don't know if it was a fumble or lost fumble.
He definitely
But
fumbled. I remember that.
yes, I don't know if it was
Did
lost.
he lose it? The answer is no. Oh, he didn't fumble either. No, he did not.
You didn't know?
Tyrone
Okay.
Tracy Jr. fumbled.
Yes, it was a running back. Yeah. So, so defense did his job, did okay. Offense needs to put up
Held
more
him at
than 50.
20.
Yeah, they need
Defense,
to
the
put up more
defense
than
did
20
more
points.
than their job. I think they did just fine.
Hmm.
The Giants.
They
Go
they've
ahead.
been doing that pretty much. The defense has been okay, besides the Vikings game, which is now starting to look like they're really good.
Yep.
And they're just a better team than the Giants on pretty much any given Sunday at this point in time. The Giants looked bad to the point where they were talking about the Giants getting head coaches getting fired, DJ getting benched after week one. Now they're like, okay, maybe the Vikings are pretty good.
Yeah, that Vikings team ends up being pretty good, but I think the Giants are surprisingly closer to being good than I would have given them credit for going into the year.
There's still too many holes
Yes,
that I would say that was
but
preventing us from being. But
they're
they're
closer to
better.
being good than they are to being 100% trash. Like
Yes,
they're not the Panthers.
I don't, I don't want to say this, but they don't look like a team that's going to go out there and get completely blown out. Now, if that offense can't score, the games are going to look bad,
15 points
right?
isn't going to get you a win.
They're not. It's not going to get you a win, right? So, and that I do worry about. Even like I said, the week before that, they played good. They had not even the week before that, last Sunday, because it was they
Mm-hmm.
played a
Short
Thursday,
week. Yep.
a short week. They put up 25 points against the Browns. They're not very good or whatever, but I thought that we were trending in the right direction.
Yeah, but 5 field goals is not going to win you a game.
They're
You
not.
got to get in the end zone.
You got it. You have to, and they know that. They know that. And they should have had a little bit more aggressive play calling down there. But I think once again, I think holding penalties and stuff like that, which is plaguing the league right now. The penalties in every game is high.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost difficult to watch some games because of some of the penalties.
It's very
Um,
difficult. Yes.
but it comes with it. You get some. It helps you sometimes. It hurts you sometimes. But and they're all holding penalties. They're all holding now.
Illegal
Illegal
formation.
formation. That's a
Illegal
good.
shift. False start.
Yeah.
Holding. Defensive holding. It feels like every play has the potential for laundry just to be thrown. And you're just like, it shouldn't be like this. It's just
Mm-mm.
too much. I don't know if it's nitpicking or if it's just bad football, which could just be bad football. But Jeebus Louibus, it's just too much. You can't do it.
Yeah, but I think that's all I have to say. I did once again. I did not hate the play calling.
No, I tell
The,
you what, that's the first Giants game I've watched all of this season. Between
mhm.
the 20s, they move the ball, and I'm just like, man, they're kind of cooking. This offense kind of knows what it is and is doing a job. And
Mm-hmm.
then you just guys couldn't get in the end zone.
Nope. Nope.
It was
Couldn't.
rough.
Couldn't. And we don't throw the ball deep enough to get touchdowns outside
Yeah,
the red
you need the
zone.
explosive plays. And they had a few longer plays, pass
Mm-hmm.
plays, but like in general, it was just it wasn't a whole lot. But between the 20s, they look okay. Defense looked fine. Dallas does not look like a good team.
They don't.
The
They
the,
don't.
the Dallas looks closer to being on par with the Giants than they do to be
A
a,
top team,
a
a
top team
playoff
in the
team,
NFC. Yeah,
a 10-win,
they might not make the
12-win
playoffs this
team.
year. I'm going to say that right now. I don't think they make the playoffs.
With the Washington Commanders playing as good as they're playing,
Yes.
Philly doesn't look good either.
No, they do
But
not.
let's just say that only one team out the NFC East makes it.
Very
It ain't
possible.
gonna be the Cowboys.
No.
That's the thing about it. In order for them to do it, they're gonna have to be a wild card team, and they don't look good enough to be a wild card team.
They don't look like an 11-win team or a 10-win team.
Mm-mm.
And I think you have to
And
be
and
I think you have to be 11-win team to get to the playoffs this year in the NFC.
the only conference that's doing well, no, the NFC North still has Detroit with 3 wins,
You have the 4-0
Vikings
Vikings,
with
the
4,
3-1 Detroit, and the 2-2 Bears
two
and
and
2-2
two, and
Packers.
2-2 Packers. So all teams in that division's over 500, making it the best team in the best division in the NFC.
Right now they are, yes.
Because the NFC North, the NFC South is being held down by the Panthers, who have one win.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole division is not over 500, and the West is a bunch of 2-2 teams, right? One 2-2 team. I think the
Seattle's three
Seattle
and one.
3-1. They're leading up. They're leading the division.
Yep.
The other teams are injured, trying to get better, but
So
and
here's
that'll help them.
the point differential by division, cumulative division. I have it right here. AFC East is a total minus 40 in point differential. So all five
Yeah.
teams have to minus 40. AFC West plus 26, AFC North plus 17, AFC South a minus 95, which is unreal. It's only been 4 weeks of football. NFC East a minus 22, NFC West a minus 12, NFC North a plus 96, and NFC South a plus 10.
I just looked at who's the best team in point differential in the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Colts at 0. 85, 85 points for, 85 points
And they're
against.
2-2 somehow.
2-2. Houston, negative 15. They're third in point differential.
Well, they
Tennessee
got
is
whomped. They've only got one loss, and they got whomped by the Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Jacksonville is minus 49.
They're bad.
Not good.
They're real bad.
They're not the worst point differential team. It's the Carolina Panthers at minus
And
56.
they're real bad too. And that is who the Bears play next week.
Minus 58. Sorry, Dolphins.
Oh.
Oh man.
They're rough too.
Who the Bears play the Panthers?
Bears have the Panthers at home next week.
Oof.
Looking forward to it.
I would tell you. Okay, go ahead.
No,
You
go
talk
ahead.
about
What
your
are you
team.
going to say?
That defense.
The Bears defense is tough. They're legit.
That defense.
And
That defense.
they kind of had a little bit of a soft week this week.
But they won it when they needed to.
Yep, and it still only led to one touchdown and 18 total points, and then 2 takeaways, and they beat the crap out of Matt Stafford in the fourth quarter. They just kept sending the house and beat the crap out of him.
That last play was definitely roughing the passer.
One of the few times a flag wasn't thrown. That game
Yes.
was littered with flags, mostly against the Bears.
And not that the roughing the passer affected the bad throw, because it didn't.
No.
It just is one of those calls that nowadays is getting called.
Yeah. And so, yes, he was hit high, and they're like hands to the head. If you saw him, he ran at him like this, and both hands hit above his shoulder, both arms hit above his shoulder. It was a late hit by like a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
It's one of the few times. It is one of the few times in the last 4 years of watching the Bears where I can remember that the Bears did not get
A
penalized,
penalty.
got
Yeah,
away with
penalty.
one.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap!
Yes.
Usually it's a Bears quarterback that's getting like kicked in the face while he's been on the ground after 5 seconds, right? Like not getting a flag. So Bears get a nice win. I'll take a win, take any win at home. They put up 24, no defensive scores, so it was all offensive. Caleb had a real nice game, very efficient. DeAndre Swift finally had a professional football game, 93
Hmm.
on the ground, 72 in the air.
But when
DJ
you
Moore
needed
caught a touchdown. Did you see the
that was one of two passes I think he had, or three he had all game. I was pissed. I've got him in a bunch of
I,
leagues,
I,
and
I'm
he's
I'm gonna
letting
be real
me
honest.
down.
So this Bears offense, the way that they are run, is kind of terrible, and I think the Bears receivers hate it. And I'm going to tell you. So they had 23, 36. They had like 30 plays or 30 probably 35 all the penalties because Caleb threw the ball 23 times, was sacked 3 times, so that's 26 dropbacks, and there were many passes that were penalized and taken back.
Mhm.
So we'll just call it 30 routes to run in the game. You know how many unique routes DJ ran of those 30?
Unique routes.
Yes, unique routes.
Was
4.
he was just
There were
running go routes?
the same route, four different routes 30 times. Do you know how many unique routes like Keenan Allen ran? 3. Do you know how many unique routes? Like
What?
they're
That's
not.
not even possible.
If you look at the route tree, it's like here's every passing play. It's this, and that's it. There's a go, there's a hook, and there's a slant or like an out, and that's it. That's all they run. Like it. Like I don't understand how such a limited route tree. How do you keep calling plays, and how do you expect them to be effective when the wide receivers are running the same thing every time? I think so. I was excited when they got Shane Waldron because I'm gonna tell you what, their last offensive coordinator, Luke Getzey, is a hot mess, and he was a hot mess then. He's a hot mess in Las Vegas, right? Because for whatever reason they hired him. I still don't understand that. When Pete Carroll was fired, right? Or did he step down?
He resigned.
Either way, they got rid of all of his staff. And I thought Shane Waldron was a good option because, holy crap, Geno Smith, the Geno Smith assance, and like they move the ball, they run 12 personnel, they run 2 tight ends, lots of motions. I'm like, this is going to be good. Now, what was funny is because Bears media is everything that revolves around the Bears constantly. When they were at something, they were interviewing Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? And of course, it's like, oh, we just hired Shane Waldron. What do you think about Shane Waldron? And he goes, and he laughed, he looked away, and he said, it is what it is, right? Like that's what he said, something to that effect, right? And I was like, he just had a rough rookie year. But then I saw the same thing. I saw Jackson Smith and Jigba's route trees from a game last year with Waldron, and he ran 3 unique routes. The game last night, his route trees were like all over the place. It looked like spaghetti thrown on the field. I'm like, he's all over the place. The same thing was here's DJ Moore's route tree from a game last year. It looked like spaghetti tossed on and here it was from last night. It's just 5 routes. Or 4 routes. Like how as an NFL offense are we doing this? How are we have these weapons, but we're not using them as anything, and it's got to be frustrating, right?
To
Especially
all parties involved.
especially for veterans, right? Like if you're a rookie coming in, it's like I guess this is how the NFL works. You don't know, but if you've been doing it for like Keenan Allen and DJ Moore,
Who was on that team last year,
yeah,
who's like, we got a better in his eyes, but probably not in his eyes. I don't think he blames his lack of touches. I think, like you said, I think you might have hit the nail on the head. He probably dislikes the OC,
yeah.
and has nothing to do with
So
Caleb. I thought he was dislike Caleb. He doesn't like what's going on.
he doesn't like what the hell's going on. And so after last week's game, which was a total disaster offensively, they had the 4 insane plays trying to score from the 1. They had just a whole mess. They had they had offensive leaders and veterans come in and have conversations with the coaching staff, and
Mm.
all of them said like, "Look, we want to be coached harder. We want to be doing these things. Why aren't we doing this stuff?" I just think Shane Waldron sucks. Like I hate to say it, and I don't want to be like, "Oh, it's always the coaching's fault." But
But
I just don't think he's maybe he's just not good. He can't call a game, which he might have a whole book full of all these concepts and only calls the same 7 8 plays constantly. And maybe that's what it is. I don't understand it. And then when he tries to be fancy, it's unnecessarily fancy. Right? Like we need 3 yards. We don't need like six guys in motion and all this kind of weird stuff going on and tight ends trying to block defensive ends and like what are we doing? What are we doing? Right? But I will say this:
Mhm.
it looked better at a point. There's like at halftime they came out and looked good. The second half, first half, I'm like, oh, this game's gonna be brutal. But they ended up scoring some touchdowns. I don't know. It's like I still think.
I I liked Roshan.
Oh
I thought
God,
we saw. I
Rojo,
thought
man.
we saw a bit more Roshan,
Mm-hmm.
and he when he came in, he produced.
Yep.
He produced
Got in the end
seven
zone.
carries.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, 7 carries for 26 yards is not really producing. Got an end zone though.
But he was used for short yardage purposes.
Mhm.
He picked up some first downs on short yardage. He got the
That's
end
what
zone
I
on short
thought. I was
yardage.
like, yeah.
Right? He was the recipient of a beautiful check down outlet pass as Caleb like escaped one of the unnecessary pressures. Dumped off
Hmm.
to Roshan. Roshan ran it up for like 30 yards and it was called back for an illegal formation. And it was like, what? Like that team, the Bears are so penalized on pre snap. False
Yes,
start,
they are.
illegal formation, illegal motion, holding. And holding is not a pre snap, but they get so many offensive drive killing penalties, it's unheard of. And they get pressured. Like
Offensive line doesn't look
the
strong.
offensive
Doesn't
line
look strong.
doesn't look like anything. So Darnell Wright, their second year right tackle stud, is playing hurt. He's got a back issue, so he's still
Mm.
playing. And then he's the best one on the line. Braxton Jones, who is like his third year, like, oh, look at this guy we drafted in the 5th round. He ends up being a starter. He started. This is his third year starting. He got bullied the whole game. He got bull rushed into Caleb. He couldn't. He didn't block anything. I don't think that guy could block a caller on his phone. He wouldn't know how to do it. Like I don't get it.
Oh,
Like he just is. He's not good. He's not good, and he's been serviceable, and now he's bad, right? The left guard, Tevin Jenkins, was terrible, and then he got hurt, and it was like, well, that's merciful, I guess. But then the guy that came in was worse. The center is the backup
he should.
center
He would be.
is worse. The right guard got hurt. He comes in, he's worse. Like it's all bad. Like I watched the quarterback school, and he breaks down all the offensive plays, all the throws. It was laughable how often guys were just unblocked and on Caleb instantly. I'm like, what are we doing?
I've seen it. I've seen that. I've seen that before.
How is this even like? And like I said last week, there's the common denominator. It's that offensive line coach who is Eberflus's buddy, and he won't get rid of him. There's guys. So like last year, the Bears had. I can't even remember what his name was. He was a center. They got him from Green Bay. He came there. He was terrible. Terrible. He's having a career year somewhere else this year. Guys, offensive linemen that are liabilities on the Bears go to other teams and have Pro Bowl seasons. James Daniels, who the Bears should have never got rid of, is the right guard on the Pittsburgh Steelers and is a Pro Bowl right guard. Like how are we doing this? What are we doing wrong? It is the coaching staff. It needs to be gone. It needs to be eliminated. Hopefully, they're not going to fire him. Like I say, even if they make the playoffs, if they have a winning record, they still need to be gone.
They won't. If he's
They have
Eberflus's
to.
guy, Eberflus is still there. He's gonna be there.
But if you're winning in spite of something, Poles is smart enough. I think Poles knows this, and I think even though Eberflus is his friend, I think he was told he couldn't fire Eberflus after 2 years on a 5-year deal.
Okay.
I think that's the only explanation. There's no other explanation for it because he is not a good he's not a good coach. He's not a good head coach. Nice guy, We got it's just
Beard. He's got a beard.
weird, weird. It's all the Bears won. Great. I'm very excited. The Bears won. They're 2-2 after 4
Looking at me
games.
go 3-3, 2-3
We
to
got the
go into
Panthers.
Panthers.
Then we got the Cardinals. Then we got the
Mm.
Commanders. Then we
Mm.
and I'm sorry, we got the Jaguars. Then the Cardinals.
What?
Then
What is the schedule?
then the
What is this?
Commanders. Right. So the Bears have to go to London to face the Jaguars. So we got
I,
the Panthers. I think it's Panthers, Jags, Cardinals, Commanders. I think those are the next. That's the order of the next four.
no, how did you get that schedule? I want that schedule. Our schedule's not that nice to us. Yeah, it's Panthers, Jags, God, Commanders,
Panthers, Jags, Commanders, and then
Cardinals,
Yeah.
Patriots.
Oh man. But then the back half of the look at the back half of the schedule.
Then you week 11, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. Oh my God.
We got Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Detroit on Thanksgiving, San Fran, Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle, Green Bay.
That back half,
That's tough.
every one of those
That's
are potential playoff teams. Every one of those.
But it's the same teams over and over again.
Yeah, because they're conference, right? So like
Yeah.
the back half is loaded with the conference games plus San Francisco and Seattle. two of the better teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough. So we gotta win these games.
Oh,
We
yeah.
we have to beat the Bears have to beat the Panthers.
Carolina, Jacksonville, you gotta win.
Gotta win
Then you
those.
got a bye week, and then you got to play the Washington Commanders. That you got to win too.
Gotta win the Commanders. Gotta win the Cardinals. Gotta win the Patriots.
Cardinals and Patriots.
Gotta win all those because then that puts the Bears at what like 7-2 right after 9 games. Is that what it would be?
Yeah,
Yeah, that put the Bears at 7-2.
7-2 with the rest of your schedule. You know what's crazy? 7-2. You may get 3 wins out of those next games,
And that's all you need, right? So
Ten-
let's say you just split your divisional games. You take your 3 home games,
Mhm.
and that puts you at 10-2. Well,
10-2.
then you got the 3 losses.
Yeah, 10-5,
and then 10
and
and
with
7.
it,
If
yeah.
if maybe you can split San Francisco and Seattle, depending on injuries and if Christian McCaffrey still has legs, and, who knows?
All right. So, did you see what they said? I thought I saw something that said that his injury is Achilles tendonitis in both
Yes.
Achilles.
He
Like,
went.
like
He
it's not
went
it's
to
not
Germany.
communicable. It's not communicable. It's like,
No, he went
What's
to
the-
Germany though to get
Yeah.
his.
Therapy, PRP probably the stem cells.
Yeah.
He's getting it all the stuff you can't get legally over here. He's
Yeah.
getting it.
Yep.
But yeah, but they said, oh yeah, he overcompensated and got the same injury in the same. I'm like, that sounds weird. No one
Agreed.
pulls their hammy and then pulls the other hammy. Like it just hurts. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
y'all got a pretty good schedule. Yeah,
I'll take
that's,
it. I'll take that little
that's very
stretch. We
fortunate.
need it. We need it.
I don't looking at the Giants schedule, it's hard to find a win coming up. I'm not gonna lie. It does not I do not feel comfortable. Our schedule is next week, Seattle. Tough,
Tough game. Yes.
tough game. The Bengals, maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yep.
Eagles, MetLife, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm gonna say the Eagles are definitely a maybe.
Yeah, the Eagles are not healthy right now.
They don't look good at all.
They don't have all their weapons. They haven't had AJ Brown since week 1. And Devontae Smith is hurt.
Yeah.
They haven't had their
Presumed
weapons.
dead still. Yeah, that hit was.
It was dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Washington, Carolina, week 10. Carolina week 10.
That's got to be everybody. Like whoever has Carolina's schedule and the Patriots, you just got to be like, yes,
This
yes,
schedule looks
I
rough.
need this.
Jesus Christ, I did not know it was going to look like this going to the beginning of the season, but this looks bad. This doesn't look good. Looks like we're in the top five draft. Top five. Heads might roll. Heads may not roll. But
I
this
don't.
looking
I
like
don't. I don't. I don't think there's any way Dayball loses his job.
I hope not.
I just don't think it. I think
I
he's too
hope
good of a
not.
coach. I think he's too good of an offensive coordinator. The things he had y'all doing to get
Hmm.
down to the red zone was great. He just couldn't. Guys couldn't execute in the red zone, and I don't think
Yeah.
that's on him.
No, they need some more talent. I think for the first year, let's say going, I'm already projecting a bad season. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't like doing this. But let's say we have a bad season. This will be the first year that Shane and the recruiting staff cannot have to find fix his offensive line. He's been trying to fix his offensive line every season since he's been here.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken picks in the top parts of the draft on offensive linemen. This will be the first year that he may not have to do that. He didn't do it this year, last year either, but our top free agents were all offensive linemen and Burns, right? So he wound up getting three offensive linemen that are all contributing at a high level. And I love it. He's got them for 2 years and 3 years. So next year you hopefully are not looking for offensive line help. And maybe you can go get a linebacker that you haven't been able to get, a coverage linebacker, or go get a safety that you just let walk to the
Packers.
Vikings, the Packers, yeah, who is having another. He's got 4 interceptions on the
He's having a
year.
very good year. Yeah.
He's having a very good year. So, but we could get some wins out of this. I don't think the season total loss because, like you said, there's some teams I think we can do okay against, and you never know what happens. The season's long. Um, Seattle is a tough game, but we've got 10 days to recover.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not as bad as a short travel week.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
could go our way. Seattle's a tough team.
I don't know if I see the Giants winning like 8, 9, 10 games, but
6 and 7 is be
I
fine.
think 6 or 7 is like definitely within the realm of
The
possibility.
schedule's
Especially
tough.
got a tough schedule, but I like after they played the Cowboys this week. I don't. They looked fine. They looked good. They looked okay enough,
No,
right?
they look better. No,
Yeah.
they look better. The product on the field is much better product than it has been. That you can see that from
Mm-hmm.
the offensive line play to having a legit weapon in Malik Neighbors to a competent looking Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
The product on the field looks better.
Yep.
That's really what I wanted this year.
And shoot,
Uh,
anything can happen. I mean, the freaking Broncos went up there, went to New York and beat the Jets and made the Jets look stupid.
the Jets are.
But the Broncos looked stupid in the process. The Broncos didn't look good. They just
he,
won.
he had negative yards on like 8 passes
Uh-huh.
at half.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible. A a pass is technically considered forward.
Yeah.
Like if it goes backwards, it's not a pass, it's a toss,
It was
right?
6-0 at the half, 7-6 after 3, 10-9 for a final. What a womp womp. Both those teams end up being 2-2 somehow.
They both missed field goals at the end of the game that could have pretty much sealed it.
All right. I have very important things to talk about.
Uh-huh.
The Detroits and the Seattles played last night, and it was an amazing game, in my opinion. I thought it was a great game. However,
Yeah, it was a good game.
there were two plays in this game, and we have to discuss which one was better. Which run was better? Was it Kenneth Walker or was it David Montgomery? Well, let's review them real fast. Here's
Mhm.
Kenneth. That's not even the right one. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Let me find. Nope. Nope. How is it not there? It's this one here. All right. Nope. don't
Same one again. Same one again.
I don't even understand. Like, oh wait, let me close that one. Maybe that's the problem. No, I gotta leave that
Oh.
open. Oh
There you
god,
go.
it's
Okay.
killing me. There is a it's this one here. It's gotta be this one. Nope. I gotta close it. I have to straight up close it. I got two windows open. They both have Twitter up, and every time I try to pull up the right one, nope.
Every time you pull it up, is it this one? Nope, same one.
Let's try this one. There it is.
Hey.
All right. Now I gotta find that damn window so I can press play. Here's Kenneth Walker avoiding being down.
I saw yes.
Goes down,
Doesn't flip.
hand down. He flips on his head and stays up just to get an extra 3 yards. Right? I don't care. He lays on long hair. I don't know what the guy's name is.
Long hair's a good name.
And
then somersaults over him.
Somersaults over him, but his hand, his feet, and the top of his head touch the ground. Top of the head, clearly not part of the body, but it makes you down. Awesome. David Montgomery, on the other hand, does this.
Should be.
Well, runs over one guy.
Oh, yes.
Breaks like
the whole team touches him. The whole team.
Yeah. He turns that into a 30-yard game. That first dude, he had to have the wind knocked out of him. He had to be like, you know, like when you're a kid, you get that wind knocked out. You're like, look at it again. Gets the ball.
Oh,
man.
He got back up though.
He got back up out of pride. That's pride fucking with you.
He's down there. He would have made the tackle. He's right back. Man, that was a good hustle on his part.
Which one? Which one's the better run?
The one where at least five guys touched him. Like
Montgomery's run was so bonkers, but Kenneth Walker's was bonkers in a different way.
Had Kenneth Walker got up, did all that, and got
run somebody over
3 yards, got more than 3 yards.
Yeah.
Like, or if 8 people thought he was down, and they do the whole the play's dead, and he kept moving, I think it would have been better.
Yeah. But man, that Montgomery, man, he has been running like a beast this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been good, but he's got like some extra juice in his shoes or something, man. He's just running different this year, and mean and angry. And that run last night was awesome. Awesome. That was the most important thing that happened for me in all of football this year. The Bears won. Those two runs happened in the same goddamn game. And then Kenneth Walker hit a Tecmo Bowl run later on for a touchdown. Did you see that one?
Oh, he ran around.
He goes up the middle, goes left, and goes all the way across the field and scored on a 30-yard run. It was nuts.
I lost the fantasy to Kenneth Walker. I don't need to. And Montgomery. Both of them destroyed.
Well, now we're on a different tangent. I hate fantasy football with a passion. Hey, do you want to know who has more points in a standard scoring league for receivers? Mark Andrews or Jared Goff? Guess which one. Jared Goff has more points in a standard scoring league. He's got 6.7.
He is Mark Andrews is out there doing cardio.
Mark Andrews has played in 4 damn games.
Wait,
3 have had zeros.
Mark Andrews had the same amount as my tight end, Kyle Pitts.
Oh, well, that's your own fault for drafting Kyle Pitts, my friend.
It is. He's now on the do not draft list. He's sound. I hadn't been the bug. They hadn't caught me. Like, I haven't been affected by the Kyle Pitts bug until now. I was like, listen, Cousins got him. He's going to be better. This is a better team. Well, I fell for it.
If you learn not to draft Kyle Pitts after 1 season, you're doing better than me after 3. It took me 3 years of Kyle Pitts doing jack nothing to realize I don't want to draft him. I'm going to use all of my draft money to go get one of the best tight ends in the game, Mark Andrews. And guess what he does? Nothing. He's Pitts.
Nothing for the first 4 weeks. Yeah. Nothing.
4 weeks.
Like, it's
3 zeros out of 4 weeks. It's unheard of.
I'm gonna tell you what. So I've got Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers in one of my fantasy leagues. And Lamar would be having such a great season if the game wasn't over in the third quarter. He sat out
Yeah.
almost the entire fourth quarter of last game.
Oh God.
They were running the ball against the Cowboys, 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they were doing the exact same thing last night against the not last night, Sunday against Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were done. Game was over.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 28-3. It was something stupid at
They
half.
absolutely destroyed Buffalo. They
Yes.
and for all of the Buffalo love I had going in to this last week, I was like, man, Buffalo looks like world beaters right now. They were humiliated, 21-3 at half. They lose 35-10.
Yeah. And it wasn't that close. When the first handoff is Derrick Henry for 82 yards, it was ridiculous. And
That
he had a hole. And then no one wanted to touch him. There's
and then he
that.
outran all of
Which
Buffalo's DBs.
I didn't see that speed from him. I knew he was fast.
Yeah.
But I just kept waiting for someone to shoestring tackle him, to catch him, to push him out of bounds, and it never happened.
Yep. Never happened. So I think we've talked about this in the past. And I feel like he's got a handful of years left in Derrick Henry, probably 5, right? I think.
He's 30.
But
But
the way he looked, if he plays in a system like this, he's got
yeah,
he's got 3 to 5 years left in him.
they talked about his diet and what he does to keep
Yeah,
healthy.
he's a cyborg, right?
He eats like one meal a day.
Yeah.
He said his first meal is like at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Is Derrick Henry a Hall of Famer? My answer is yes, unequivocally.
He give. You think right now,
Yes.
without the accolades, because nowadays it's hard for running back to do. He doesn't have some of those accolades. He doesn't have a championship. He doesn't have MVP.
He's got a
Doesn't.
2,000-yard rushing season back when there were still 16 games in a season.
So does Chris Johnson, and he
Yeah, but he only played like 4 years.
True. No, I think with running back, there's a
It's
there's a
changed.
cutoff line. There's a cutoff line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you see it when looking at the top Russian leaders. You see the cutoff line, right? Right now, if Fred Taylor is not in the Hall of Fame, which he's not, I think he is like the cutoff line. He could still get there, I think, but I think he is that. If you get above him, you're in. If you don't, and Fred Taylor's got numbers.
Yep. So Derrick Henry's 18 yards away from 10,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he's at 9,982. Let's say he finishes the year at he gets another 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And or well, let's say
He might get that. He might get that in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The way he's
let's just say conservatively 900 yards over the last 13 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
That put him at 10,800. That puts him at number 24 all time. Behind Warwick Dunn, Shady McCoy, OJ, Corey Dillon, Riggins, Steven Jackson, then Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor's at 17 with 11,695. To me, if Derrick Henry plays 2 seasons, he's over Fred Taylor.
If he could get over Fred, that's my line. I think Fred Taylor should be in there.
I agree.
He played on some played on some Jacksonville teams that weren't great. That he was pretty much the team.
He was great.
I think he should be there. But that's my line. If he goes above Fred Taylor, he's in.
Yeah, because above Fred Taylor, it's all Hall of Famers except for Frank Gore and Adrian Peterson, who
are future Hall of Famers in my opinion.
Hall of Famers, yeah. Because then it's Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, Marcus Allen, Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Jim Brown, Dorsett, Dickerson, Bettis, yeah, it's like
it's questionable people below because I think, like you said, OJ's beneath him, but OJ didn't play many seasons and he played like 12 games a season to get to that number. So, but to me, like if you get above Fred Taylor, pretty much in there. So
yeah, you got below that you have John Riggins, Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. You got OJ, Hall of Famer. Joe Perry, Hall of Famer. Joe Perry played from 48 to 63.
Before Fred Taylor.
But yes, but then you got Earl Campbell down there with 9,400 yards, Hall of Famer. Earl
Hmm.
Campbell was a special dude though. Then you got Jim Taylor who played from 58 to 67. Like Larry Zonka, who's only in there because he's on the 72 Dolphins.
Yeah,
Terrell Davis.
that's the most questionable,
He only played
uh,
6 seasons, but he had a
and his
2,000 yard
numbers in there.
rushing year, and then he also had 2 Super Bowls.
Hmm. That's what I said about without the accolades.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow,
I,
man.
I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
tell you what. There's a chance again. I know they started 0-2, but they're really good. The Baltimore Ravens. Like, I I I
Yes,
give them puncher's chance against any other team in the AFC that can go to.
if they play their style of football, they can like
Which is
if they
which is
just
very good football.
which is just run the ball down their throats.
Yeah.
You've got Derrick Henry. He doesn't have to be a home run hitter. Just let him beat the mess out of linebackers and safeties.
Yeah.
And then occasionally, when you want to switch it, do the option, the read, and let it what's the name Lamar take it out of his hands, out of his gut, and run for 7, 8 yards. That they can't stop it.
No. It's
And,
it's
and you
tough
would
to
think
stop.
you can
Yeah.
because they're not throwing it to anyone downfield.
No.
Bateman, I think, has gotten a touchdown the last
Bateman's had
couple
a
of
few.
weeks.
Has had a nice season.
Isaiah Likely had that good first
Isaiah
game, but
Likely.
since then
Mark Andrews hasn't done anything.
he's done nothing. Zay has been getting targets, but they've been all been
Zay's
behind
their
their line of
top weapon.
scrimmage.
Yeah, it's tough because he's their number 1 target now. But
Hmm.
I like that Ravens team. The Bills go back to fantasy. Killed me. Josh Allen killed me. I chopped in the guillotine league. There's no reason.
Yeah.
I had a team full of names at least. That
You had a
should
good team.
Yeah.
It's a good team.
I had Josh
And
Allen give me 7 this week. Like the and when I had Justin Fields on the bench with 31, right? I get chopped because of 7 points, right? So I get that. I had Chase Brown on the bench. Like I'm telling you, if you Harlan,
yeah, I'm thinking about. I'm
if you
looking
don't
at
get
Chase
one of my
Brown.
quarterbacks, you need it because Mahomes is not a fantasy producer, man.
He's not. He's not. I've been thinking about it.
You
I've been
need you need
trying.
one of those two, and it feels is going to be starting for the Steelers for the rest of the season unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, I'm. You got talent because I want Brown.
Chase Brown,
I
yeah,
thought I thought about Puka, but Puka they said he may not come back to for a while. So
yeah, they're saying week 9.
yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
just
I'll
trying to
wait
buy
on
time to
that.
week 9, and I should have been able to.
I don't have that. I don't have that
Bijan,
luxury.
you got Bijan sitting there. You got David Montgomery sitting there. You got Jalen Waddle, who like I pick up, and then Tua decides
Oh,
to
Tua,
to go out, and that team's not going to do anything unless he comes back. And if he comes
which
back, you don't know.
yeah,
Uh,
that's a risk. It's risky,
it's a
but
risk. Yeah,
if they were winning, they would have Miami would have been like, oh no, sit out. Now they're like, health be damned. I think that like
uh,
you got Hill on the sidelines looking pissed.
well,
Daniels doesn't know what to do.
their whole offense is predicated on all these like exotic movements, snap at the end of the motion. Like they're getting called for like illegal motion because guys aren't getting set because the ball should have been snapped already. Like poor Snoop, he doesn't know what he's doing back there.
Hmm.
Like it's not his fault he doesn't know the offense. Like that offense is made for Tua, and he runs it. And if he's not
Yep.
there, how do you run it? You know?
Haven't they're not running it very well, and
No.
they've had 3 quarterbacks in the last 3 weeks, and it's not
Yeah.
none of them has
Yeah.
done well.
Can't do anything. They look terrible last night. I
Hmm.
mean, if you let the Titans put up 31 on you,
I tell you what, had Will Levis played that whole game, I think Miami would have won. He looks
yeah.
bad. He looks bad.
Will Will Levis. Did you see that
He,
thing?
he
He's got a Linsanity run of embarrassment going the last 4 weeks. Every week he's doing something.
it's it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. He threw that interception like quick.
Hmm.
It's
He's not good. And
and
I don't
but
think he might turn into like a serviceable backup one day, but he's not a starter in the NFL. I
they
don't think he
have
ever will
him,
be.
and then the coach said, "Listen, if Will Levis is healthy, Will Levis is our starting quarterback. Why? Why are you? What? Why are you beholding
Call
him?
Ryan
Like
Tannehill. He's still a free
Mason
agent.
Mason Rudolph didn't look bad.
Yeah.
I
I
wouldn't trust him, but he didn't look bad.
yeah, I don't I don't trust Will Levis with anything.
Mm. Yo, he's been those passes, some of the ugliest passes I've seen.
And then he hurts himself diving for the first down.
Yeah, he jacked his shoulder up. I don't know. They showed him throwing the ball on the sideline in obvious pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was like, oh, Will F is questionable. Like questionable. He's in pain throwing
Will
that
Levis's
ball.
judgment is questionable. Will Levis returning? No, he's not.
He's not coming back.
Ever.
It's like God, he's in pain.
Yeah, I don't know what the Titans see in him. The Titans are a quarterback shopping at the end of the season. They just have to be.
Mm, yeah. I like talking bad about the Eagles. Woo, the
Yes.
Buccaneers have been beating the brakes off.
Yeah, the oh yeah, they. I don't want to call them the owners of the Eagles because that is too much like Aaron Rodgers and his Bears comments. But I don't think the Eagles are good. I still don't think they're good.
They're missing a lot, but
But even if they weren't good.
Jalen Hurts gets paid what 260 million,
Yeah,
250,
something like that.
18 to 30, 158 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and then nothing on the ground.
He had one touchdown on the ground, just took it from Saquon Barkley. So all you bettors out there who had a Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, you can blame Jalen Jalen Hurts for taking that.
Well, that's your own fault. Betting that is tough because you know that Jalen Hurts is going to get all those close scores.
But he's had one in every game. It was 10 carries for 84
Yeah,
yards.
Saquon Barkley's been great. He's been undeniably great for the Eagles. That line
Yes.
is what ails you.
It's, yes.
It's good for
Yes.
what ails you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the team, like Hurts has been, in my opinion, pedestrian to pretty good
For the last 2 years.
since he was the MVP front runner, and then wasn't.
Until he went to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
And
and then
lost.
wasn't. Like those last 4 weeks, I mean, Super Bowl. He hasn't been the same, right?
Mm-mm.
Saquon, very good, as expected, right?
As expected.
Everyone expected, even you, even the
Of course, he's playing on a better team.
yeah. They don't have anybody to throw to,
Mm-mm.
and
Goddard was their number one receiver with 8 targets.
yeah, and their defense is not good at all.
Not good.
Remember last year when we're like, oh, it's terrible because it's Sean Desai, the the defense coordinator. So let's bring in what was that dude's name that they brought in to be the
Who's
de
this?
facto.
Oh, Fangio is the DCC now.
Yes, and you'd think that Fangio would be able to do something with him. But remember last year when it was Sean Desai, and then they brought in somebody else to be. Sean Desai is still the defensive coordinator, but
yes,
this guy's going to
but
call the
someone
plays.
else- Yes. Like, oh no, it's
Now
not
they got
gonna
Fangio,
work.
and Fangio is a good defensive coordinator, but they must not have the what he needs for his style of defense, right? Which is very
He may
possible.
not get another chance.
No, 'Cause
He may not get another chance to get it, and that's only because I can see a time where Sirianni isn't there, and if Sirianni's is not
and
there,
that could be next year.
you don't keep
No.
the OC and DC. You clean house.
Yeah, Fangio was great with the Bears. Then he got
He wasn't good with the Broncos.
he got the head coaching job with Denver. That lasted a couple years. Then he went to Miami, and then he's in Philadelphia.
And they play bad defense. They don't
they're not
tackle
good.
well. They just you got old Baker out there just
Baker,
doing whatever he wanted. Whatever he wanted.
347 and 2
Whatever
touches.
he wanted.
Yeah, he did whatever he wanted to. Mike Evans doing Mike Evans things, 94 yards and a touchdown. Right? Like I think the Buccaneers are good, but I don't think they're world beaters, but I think the Eagles are just mediocre at best.
I don't think with that talent at wide receiver, that wide receiver talent that they have, it's hard to beat. And Baker playing decent, they're a tough team.
Baker's playing real well. He had
Yeah,
that one rough game last week,
last week.
not
Hmm.
this current week, but the previous week. And then, but other than that, he's been playing lights out, which is great for him, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's very good for him. Especially when you get to beat the Eagles.
yeah.
That's a fun time. Oh
So of
man.
all the games that happened this last week, we talked Cowboys Giants. We didn't talk
Yep.
about Saints Falcons because I do not care. But Youngway Koo kicks a 58-yarder for the win, and because you know why he did it? Because I was facing the team that owned Youngway Koo in fantasy, and they got 20 points from Youngway Koo. He got 26 points from whoever his quarterback was, and he got 26 points from somebody else. Like, oh, and then he also had Kenneth Walker the third last night. Come on, like I had absolutely no chance, and then I had Devin Achan beat on the Dolphins.
Me too. That's exactly what
Mm.
I had to face. It was not good. I lost
Sam Darnold jumps out to a quick 28-7 lead against the Packers. Packers were bad. Justin Love
until they weren't.
Jordan Love was bad. Yeah, until they weren't in the fourth quarter, right? But even then, Jordan Love still threw an interception that ended the game for him, right?
Hmm.
Like he threw it to whatever. Jordan Love looked bad, came back, not good. Vikings looked very good, and then they looked not good in the second half, but they still won. Like I saw a lot of people like they're like, but the Packers outscored the Vikings 29-3 after the middle of the second quarter, and you still lost 31-29.
Had they not given them that 3 points in the fourth quarter, it's a
Yep,
different game.
yep, but it isn't. So
Sam Darnold, 20 for 28, 275, three touchdowns.
yeah, did you see that one he threw to Justin Jefferson where he threw it?
Uh,
He threw it. So Justin Jefferson had a dude on him, blanketed. He threw it behind the coverage, and Justin Jefferson turned and caught it. It is an insane throw and catch. It was like one of those like I don't even know how because he threw it right at the defender, and Justin Jefferson just kind of stopped in midair somehow, and it went to him. Like I don't even know.
man,
So
Jordan Loves, besides the three interceptions, what was he doing?
besides his 3 interceptions, he was Jordan loving it, man.
He had 389 and four touchdowns, but he threw the ball 54 times.
Yeah,
God.
and not a single one had 2 feet on the ground. Guaranteed. But it's nice to see the Packers lose, even if it's
Yeah.
the Vikings winning. The Steelers and the Colts. Justin Fields probably
Mm.
had maybe his best game as a quarterback in the NFL, and they
It
still
was a good
lost.
game. It was a good game, and I don't think the Steelers are mad.
No,
They they're confident, and I think now that Fields is going to get better.
yeah, and has been
And
getting
that's
better.
just has been getting better. They were down, and they actually made a good comeback. The defense, that's what the problem was. I don't, you can't, I wouldn't blame Fields. I don't think he did enough. He did anything. He did lose a fumble.
That fumble is classic fourth quarter
Fields.
Justin Fields.
So that does stink,
Yes,
but that defense needs to be able to hold them to under 27 points.
yeah,
Richardson gets injured, and
early,
Joe Flacco comes in and does what Joe Flacco does.
which is incomprehensible. I don't understand how Joe Flacco is still. I don't understand how Joe Flacco can be so good and then so bad for so many years to the point where he's out of the league and then come back and be good again. Like how's that even possible?
I think teams gave up on Joe Flacco too. He's clearly, if I was going to being honest, there are 32 starting quarterbacks or 31, 32,
32.
32 starting quarterbacks. He's better than,
Then about 7 or 8 of them at least.
yes, maybe more, but yes, safely
Yeah.
7 or 8
I
of
think there's
them.
teams that just have to roll with what they got because that's what they've invested in.
Mhm.
Justin Fields, though, 312 in the air and a touchdown, 55 on the ground, 2 touchdowns running. He had the really rough turnover, fumbling at the 50-yard line. He just he literally laid the ball on the ground as he was trying to not go down for a 30-yard sack.
I hate that.
Yes, me too. Um, yeah, they had some time issues, not using timeouts. George Pickens had that fumble in the end zone or
That
whatever.
fumble.
Uh,
That fumble was bad.
Steelers might be pretty good. I think
Yeah.
Justin Fields is he's going to be the starter for the whole year unless he gets hurt, and
Hmm.
there's no getting around it. And they'll weather a bad game, and that wasn't a bad game. He had a great game,
No.
but when he has one, because he will, everybody has a bad game. They'll weather it and be like, all right, we'll ride the ship next week. I like Justin Fields. I hope he's successful. Good stuff. Broncos Jets don't need to talk about. Eagles Bucks we talked about. Bengals beat the Panthers. Whoopee. They're both 1-3. The
They
Tex
almost did. They almost didn't beat
didn't, yeah,
the Panthers.
but then they did.
Yeah.
The Texans almost didn't beat the Jaguars, and then they did. C.J.
Hmm.
Stroud gets a touchdown with like 20 seconds left in the game to win 24-20 over the Jags. Jags are bad. Commanders might be good,
Oh,
might be really good. Jane Daniels has
Jaden
been
Daniels.
outstanding.
Jaden Daniels is so accurate
Yeah,
throwing the ball.
they,
It,
yeah,
I hate. It looks like when Drew Brees was
yeah,
accurate, you're just like when the ball leaves his hand, you know it's going to hit the
yeah.
target.
They have done an outstanding job of giving him just enough to be successful. They don't
Hmm.
ask him to do a ton. They just say, just do this. He
And he
runs the
does
ball
it.
really well. He hasn't gotten broken in half yet, which is good, knock on wood. He's just been
Hmm.
really good. And
Yeah,
it's cool to see. Like, good for him.
it is. It is. It is.
Just too bad it's a rival in your division.
That we have to see forever.
Yeah. Well,
He missed 4 passes.
I know. I think he's missed 6 passes the last 2 weeks and he's thrown the ball 50 times. Right? He's been
He
really
ran
good.
for eight carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. He was every. He did
He's
throw
just
an
really good.
interception.
Yeah.
Hey.
Cardinals. I'm sorry. I believed in you, Cardinals. You're bad. You know what else
James
is?
Conner. James James Conner is playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray. I don't know what's going on with you, Kyler.
I don't know. Whatever. That's sorry, Cardinals. I had faith in you, and that was misplaced. It's only been 4 games. I'm willing to pull the plug on that one. Patriots 49ers. You know who else is bad? The Patriots.
Patriots.
They fooled us week 1 because they beat the bad Bengals.
Hmm. We didn't know how bad the Bengals were.
Well, yeah, they're bad. And the 49ers, still good, even with missing good people.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Fred Warner's really good, but he's hurt too.
Hmm.
49ers are like a walking infirmary.
But the 49ers doesn't me. You said you don't think I could get 4 yards. Well, was it 4 yards? How many
Yeah,
yards?
like 1 yard.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
if I'm running behind the 49ers or doing their scheme, I'll get it. They don't care who's running the ball
That's true.
back there. They are going to get me 3 yards to carry, 4 yards to carry.
And I'll tell you what, Brock Purdy's good too.
Brock Purdy's good. He deserves to get paid.
He's going to get paid. I mean, he had 288 and a touchdown last week. I mean, he's good. He's been good. I saw somebody like put up the last 18 games of stats where it's the Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes numbers. Brock Purdy eclipses, like just dwarfs Patrick Mahomes' quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes is not putting up the numbers that you hope he wins.
Yeah,
But like you said, he's going to kill me in
he
fantasy.
is not a fan. You need you need Josh Allen. I don't say that lightly. Josh Allen had a bad game. You need Josh Allen because he's not. He's going to have maybe no more for the rest of the season. You know what else is bad? The Browns and the Raiders, and they played 20-16. The Raiders won that game. Browns are 1-3. I think Deshaun Watson had an okay game. He had some stuff called back because of holdings or whatever. Raiders aren't particularly good. Devontae Adams wants out of Las Vegas.
The Raiders willing to listen to trades.
They said they'll take a second-round pick and then maybe some extra stuff for Devontae Adams. They don't even want
Yep.
it first. They just want to get rid of him now. And here's the thing. So what's wild is he was on some show this morning talking. Apparently, Antonio Pierce liked an Instagram post where it said Devontae Adams has played his last snap as a Raider. And they're like, has anybody talked to you about this? And he's like, nope, nobody's talked to me from the organization.
Oh,
Now it's Tuesday. Today's their day off, right, or whatever, right? They get back to practice on Wednesday.
but we all know he's not injured.
No,
Like he just doesn't want to play anymore.
he doesn't want to play there. Yeah, and can you blame him? I don't want to be there either.
I, he, granted, he did sign that contract.
Hmm. Under the
He could
impression
have
that he's
played
going to play
anyway
with his friend.
with his friend Derek Carr. That's the one part that I can say, okay,
Hmm.
I'll give you that.
Yep.
You did not know they were going to do this to you.
Nope.
So
They got rid of Derek Carr. They bring in Jimmy G, which was a nightmare. They bring in Aiden O'Connell, which has been a nightmare. Then they bring in Gardner Minshew, which has been a nightmare. They have not had a good quarterback play in over 2 years.
Mm-mm.
And he doesn't want to. I mean, if you're a wide receiver, you need to go quarterback play, at least competent quarterback play, which they don't have. So they're bad, but they're 2-2. Browns are 1-3. The Chiefs continue to roll. They're 4-0. Travis Kelce caught a pass, I think, in that game.
Yeah, he had a decent game.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, whatever. Rashee Rice out for the season towards ACL. Isaiah Pacheco is still in IR. Hollywood Brown out for the season on IR with a torn something or other. They don't have now. They have Xavier Worthy. There's been a lot of talk like who can the Chiefs trade for wide receiver. Two names I saw on the possible list today. One was Jalen Hyatt, and one was Keenan Allen. And I'm gonna be real honest. If the Bears trade Keenan Allen, I'm not mad at it. Keenan Allen looks slow.
No, I can see that. He's coming off an injury.
Slow. Yeah, I'm talking like Cole Kmet is running faster than him in routes. Slow. He looks slow. Not Cole Kmet isn't a birder, but he's not slow either. Right? Keenan Allen looks slow. Chargers don't win. Herbert was in there, I think. Herbert played and then he didn't. I don't remember. They jumped out 10 quick, and then nothing after that. Who cares?
Yeah, that was an ugly game. That Chiefs game.
It was an ugly game.
It wasn't good.
And it was a whole. I'm watching. I'm like, why am I watching this game? It's the only one.
It wasn't.
Only one that's being offered to me right now. I don't like it. And we talked Titans, Dolphins, and we talked Seahawks, Lions. It was a pretty mediocre week of football. But that Seahawks Lions game, that was
irredeemed.
Yeah, that was like, wow, what a game, because it was high scoring, it was back and forth, crazy runs. Loved it. Rest of the football, offenses are down, not good unless you're the Buccaneers and the Saints. Did the Saints score anything this week? No, they lost. Yeah, just not good. A lot of field goal kicking. A lot of flags, a lot of field goal kicking. So maybe the NFL can redeem themselves in Week 5. We have to review Week 4.
What do we do? What do we do? How did it go? I don't think it was good.
You got 9 right. I got 11 right this week.
Oh,
I had a really good week. Remember, I'm not going for the dogs.
No dogs.
No dogs, and I took some dogs, and they actually won. The ones that I thought were like obviouses, like Saints over Falcons. And what was there one I thought was a for sure that wasn't? It don't matter. Saints and Lions. The Jets over the Broncos, right? What are you gonna do? Steelers over the Colts. Those should have been things, but they weren't. We got bye weeks starting this week. 4 teams are on bye.
You do?
Yep.
You do?
The Lions, the Titans, the Eagles, and the Chargers are all on bye this week.
It's crazy. Usually, I don't really like early bye weeks. The Eagles need them.
Yeah, they need to get healthy.
With their top 2 wide receivers out, they need one.
They need to get healthy. But we got Thursday night. We got the Bake Show going to Atlanta. Atlanta, for some reason, are the favorites. 1.5 point favorites. Probably because it's at home, I guess.
Yeah. Short week. Atlanta just not. Koo is their savior at this point in time. Their offense does not look good.
No, it does not.
I'm going to have to go with Tampa Bay.
I am as well. I'm going with the Buccaneers. I do not believe in the Falcons at all.
Yeah,
I don't think Kirk Cousins is the same Kirk Cousins. But I'm also, after watching the Vikings now, maybe Kirk Cousins was holding them back. I don't know. Speaking of the Vikings, we have an 8:30 a.m. game because they're in London. They're in jolly old London.
Playing against Jacksonville?
No, playing the Jets.
Oh, y'all playing against Jacksonville.
The Vikings and the Jets are overseas. Vikings 4-0,
Oh,
Jets 2-2. Vikings 2.5 point favorites.
Jets need this win, but I don't.
I don't.
I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna ride the Vikings they until they lose, and I'll probably still continue. Well, I'm picking
I
Vikings
hate to pick the Vikings because they're a
because they're your division,
divisional rival, but they're way better than the Jets.
and you don't. You'd rather pick anything over Aaron Rodgers,
I don't
probably
want to
too.
see Aaron Rodgers ever win another football game. He didn't throw a touchdown this last week. First time ever he's never thrown a touchdown in a home game.
Jesus Christ, what the Jets? You put that Jets uniform on, it's just not good.
Yeah,
Just
that's just
bad things happen.
downhill. Yeah. All right. Now we get to the Sunday normal time. We have the beloved Chicago Bears hosting
Oh,
the putrid Panthers. Bears are
when you see Panthers, just put the other team from here on.
yeah. There's there like I can't even like I don't have to even like well if the Bears pull off do no the Bears should win this game, and if they don't,
Mhm.
boy, if the Bears don't win this game, I don't know it will
Oh
be
no!
akin to a Packers loss. I don't know if I'll be able to go online for a week.
Oh, burn the whole thing down at that
Might
point
as
in
well. If
time.
they lose to the Panthers, all the little Panthers fans come out of the woodwork and say, "We ripped you off in the trade. Our benched quarterback was totally worth the trade." All right, noon games. Bengals host Ravens. Ravens two.
Ravens.
Yep. Don't even need to talk about it. Uh, here is the this week's slap fight. The slap fight of the week. The Patriots host
Uh-huh.
the Dolphins. New England.
Oh,
New England are 1 point favorites.
I might pick New England.
This is
I,
tough.
I,
I am picking New England.
I think I might have to. No, no, no. I'm going Miami. I'm going to be different.
How?
Got to catch up.
Like how? Like
How?
I don't understand how Miami can win another game until Tua comes back.
A chain. Just feed A
It
chain.
didn't work this week.
No,
It
they
totally
stopped
should have
feeding.
100%, but it didn't.
It.
Then we have the Commies hosting the Brownies. Commies are 3.5 point favorites.
Hosting the
Yep.
Browns.
Yep.
Then it's got to go to Commanders. I don't want the Commanders to be 4-1.
I got to take the Commanders too. I'm on the Jaden Daniels hype train, man. That dude's good. Like, I knew
Yeah.
he was going to be good. I know he's going to be this good this quick. They're just doing everything right to help him succeed. If you
Mhm.
look at his throw chart, everything's in front of him always. Good for him. He's executing at a high level. I don't care. That's what the coaching staff's supposed to do. So I don't care
Yep.
if it's not a professional offense. It's good.
It's a winning offense.
Yeah. The Jags, the 0-4 Jags, are hosting the 2-2 Colts. The Jags are favorite, 3 point favorites in this game. But I think the Colts are going to boy, do the Colts
If
have
the Colts have Flacco, it's no this it's no it's 100% chance that they win in my opinion.
if the Colts have their backup quarterback starting, they're guaranteed victory in your opinion. And I agree as well. If they had their starter starting, I don't know if they win.
They have properly fed their running back. Jonathan Taylor looks like Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
Like last year he didn't coming off this injury. This year he looks better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Indianapolis, whether they have Flacco or Richardson back there.
All right. I'm going to go Jags at home. And
Okay.
here's why. I don't think
They
they're
can't
good.
lose them all.
They can't lose them all, and I want them to get their first win out of the way before they go to London, because I don't want the Bears to give them their first win.
Okay. Okay.
So if they already have a win out of the way, then the Bears will win for sure. If they go into London 0-5, I don't know what'll happen. Now this is a good game. The Texans are hosting the Bills. The Bills got to right the ship.
They got to.
The Texans.
The Texans have to as
the
well.
Texans have been struggling the last couple weeks.
They did not look great.
Buffalo's
they did
1
it when
point
they had
favorites
to. In Houston?
in Houston. Yeah,
Man, this is a tough one.
it is. Because I really like C.J. Stroud, but I really like Josh Allen.
You do. You do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Houston.
All right.
I think that one's gonna bite me in the butt.
I'm going Bills
Hmm.
because I think the Bills are like they're pissed off about last week, as they rightfully should be. Here's the second slap fight of the week. The second on the card. Oh wait, let's talk about the Giants because they're a 325 game. The Giants at Seahawks. This is a tough
Listen,
game. Seahawks 6-point favorites. That's almost a touchdown.
I'm I'm picking the Seahawks because I would rather uh lose this one and have my team actually win. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I'm taking the
But
Seahawks. After
yeah, I'm
after
picking
what
the
I saw last
Seahawks.
night, they're good.
They are good.
Right?
They've been good.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Seahawks.
Yeah, I got that's the first time I got to watch all the Seahawks this season. They're good.
Hmm.
And I don't think the Giants are necessarily bad.
If
They're just not good.
if you're gonna win, you gotta get wins against some good
You
teams, and
got
this
you
is a
got
good.
to this is a tough one because it's on the road.
Yes,
If it was at
we
home, there's that
we
like
never play Seattle good in Seattle, but
that's a tough game. Tickets are as low as $73 right now. Now we have the slap fight number 2 of the week. The second we had the noon slap fight. Now we got the Broncos hosting the Raiders. Which team will throw for 100 yards in this one? Neither is my guess. Broncos 3-point favorites though.
Bo Nix is not good.
No, he hasn't been.
I
He's
gotta
just a
go
rookie.
out, but Vegas don't even have Adams. They don't have any weapons. They need to be using Brock Bowers because I've got him in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Las Vegas because I got Brock Bowers in fantasy.
I'm gonna go the Broncos against my better judgment, but they are the favorites. Um,
You're done with these underdogs.
Not underdogs I can't trust. I don't trust the Raiders for anything. I
Mhm.
don't trust the Broncos for anything either. But the Broncos have
But they're
orange
no
jerseys.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
have
okay.
orange jerseys and they're the favorites, so we'll go there. Now we have the Cardinals going to San Francisco. It is a divisional battle. They always play different and tough. Cardinals are dogs. The 49ers are 7.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm going San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't. I'm going to do the same. Whoops. 49ers. 49ers. Then we have the Rams licking their wounds after the Bears, hosting the Packers licking their wounds after the Vikings. Green Bay's 3.5-point favorites.
You know I picked the Green. You know I root for Green Bay. Going Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Rams. I think the Rams are good. I know I said no dogs, but dogs got to win sometimes. And why not versus the Packers?
Uh-huh.
I don't trust Jordan Love. I don't trust the Packers are so well coached, but so are the Rams. The Rams are very well coached.
Yo, you talking yourself into this pick?
Mm-hmm. Matt Stafford, one of the best quarterbacks of the last 15, 20 years. Still a great quarterback in the league.
Mhm.
Yeah. I see the
Talk
Rams.
yourself in.
Kyron Williams will. I need him to run for like 300 yards this week. Um, then we have the night. Man, the Cowboys are in primetime again.
They're in primetime a lot this year
Cowboys go to Pittsburgh.
and get stomped.
Pittsburgh's 2.5-point favorites.
They're going to get stomped.
I think you are right.
They don't have to send pressure to get to the quarterback. The offensive line of the Cowboys isn't that great. Watt is going to disrupt a lot. Yeah, and I don't think they can stop their running between Fields, Najee.
Hmm.
They're just going to run up and down the field on them. I'm definitely picking Pittsburgh, and I don't think it's going to be that close.
No, I think the Steelers. I think the Steelers will probably humiliate the Cowboys Sunday night. I don't think the Cowboys are good. They're without Micah Parsons, their best defensive player.
But without DeMarcus Lawrence, so they get no
Their second best
pressure.
defensive player.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have anything
Russia.
up front. They couldn't stop the run before. They're definitely not going to stop the run now.
It might look bad.
There's a chance.
I'm hoping it looks
Well, I
bad.
hope the Steelers put up like a 40 spot. That would be pretty sweet, I think. I'd like to see that, and just like all different ways, and
Oh,
just do it to him dirty. That's what we want. Then Monday night, the Kansas City's
God,
host the New Orleans Saints.
I hate, I hate doing guessing if the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win or lose. I really don't like because I don't. I look at the Chiefs; they're not a good team.
They don't feel like it. No,
In in any other circumstances, I would have definitely picked New Orleans, even though they started out hot, and last 2 weeks not been hot.
no, they have not.
They lost to the Eagles and they've lost to the Falcons.
Yes.
Um, I can't go against Patrick Mahomes, especially now when they got refs on their side as well.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Is it in National Dome or
Oh heavens,
Mercedes?
no!
Or
It's in Kansas City.
Jesus Christ, I really can't go against them now. I'm gonna go KC.
Yeah, me too. Um, here's the thing. They just win. I don't. There's like nothing. Like I don't. Like they'll probably lose 5 games this season. They'll still make the
Hmm.
playoffs. They'll find a way to get the Super Bowl somehow. I just don't. I don't understand how they consistently win. And Patrick Mahomes has been numbers wise very pedestrian.
Thrown some
Yeah,
interceptions. Is
hasn't looked great.
fumbled.
It's
Doesn't
it
look great.
it almost feels like they're just like let's get to the playoffs. It's like you
Like
know
here, yeah. Hmm.
it's not the NBA. It's a lot more difficult to make the playoffs in the NFL than it is the NBA.
Not to them.
But not to them, right? They're just like,
Not to them.
let's coast to the playoffs. Let's keep everybody as healthy as we can because they're just losing people left and right. But as long as like Mahomes is healthy, I think that, and even if he's like kind of hurt, it doesn't matter. Uh,
Mhm.
I hate picking them to win though too because it's getting to a point. Oh, I know I wanted to show you. You know, it, I saw this tweet and it was really good. Let me see if I can find it. Please let me find it because it was comparing rate Patriots fans of old, the ones that you know,
Mhm. Those
versus
the
current Chiefs fans. I think I have it here somewhere.
current Chiefs fans are John Riggle and kids.
But it's basically about Chiefs fans complaining about.
Oh no.
I gotta find it. Oh man, oh, here it is, right here. We all hated Patriots fans during the dynasty, and we were right for it. But they had an arrogance and a fuck you to them that was infinitely more respectable than this shit. Get a grip. What's crazy is your football team can win 3 Super Bowls, have the best quarterback in the world, and you still want to kill yourself every Sunday.
What?
Go away. Go away, Chiefs fans. This woe is me, my team is good shit sucks. Oh, my team's good. Boo hoo.
I understand a little bit only from the standpoint of watching your team that is supposed to be great they have struggled all 4 of their games.
And yes,
And
they've
watching your
won
team
all
struggle,
4 of their
yes,
games.
but watching your team struggle is heart-wrenching. Like, like you're just like, Jesus
No.
Christ, why can't y'all just win big?
Watching your team struggle and lose is a way of
It's
life for some people,
it's 100% correct.
right?
100%
This
correct.
team is a fucking dynasty. They've gone to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls and won 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're also talking about this could be the first team to three-peat Super Bowls,
Correct.
right? Boo hoo. Go away. It's like Yankees and Dodgers fans complaining that their team didn't win 125 games in a season. Go away. Go away. Dodgers fans. We haven't won a World Series in 2 years. Go away. Go away.
Oh man. Mets won today.
I
Mets
know.
won
Good
today.
for them.
Mets won today.
Mets
Yeah.
made it to the playoffs. Good for them.
Yes. And the Braves lost.
Jerry Reinsdorf sent a letter out during the fourth quarter of the Bears game saying, I know this season was bad. I'm sorry. We'll do better. Bullshit. You suck. I hate baseball. I just want everybody to know I hate baseball with a passion. Even though I think there's some of the we are currently in an era of some of the greatest players to ever play the game, I still hate it so much. It is so bad when you watch your team struggle and lose as a lifestyle. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy on Twitter. His name is Shy Sox fan Mike, right? And he tweeted last year at the end of the year. It's like, Sox fans, thanks for making it through this terrible season. On the plus side, it can't be any worse next year.
oh,
Now,
that didn't age well.
Poor Shy Sox fan Mike, he got called out by freezing cold takes. Thank you all of my White Sox Twitter friends for sharing another season for Sox. This was the worst season I can remember, but the good news is that next year can't be any worse. Dated 10/1/23. Guess what, Shy Sox fan Mike, who is very active on Twitter, is a very knowledgeable White Sox dude, and I like him. He got old takes exposed, man. And he's like,
said, "Oh my god!"
He's like, "Oh my god!" And he was getting torn up on every social media platform for getting exposed by freezing cold takes. Poor dude. Like, it's not his fault.
Exactly. All he did was show he's a fan.
Yeah.
All he did was show support for his fan.
It's like, it can't be worse than this. Nothing can be worse than this year. Think again. The worst season in the history of baseball is about to occur. Literally.
There's no way he saw it coming.
Now, if he said it this year,
if they do worse, oh my god,
there's
burn the whole
no
franchise.
No one's ever done worse. You're not going to break your own record the next year. You can't.
Burn the whole franchise if it happens.
So there was like a big celebration within White Sox fandom when Jerry Reinsdorf announced, or it was found out that Jerry Reinsdorf told his kids that when I pass away, sell the White Sox, keep the Bulls. People were like, yes! Like, how terrible is that when you're celebrating the death of an old man that did bring you a World Series championship in 2005? Lightning in a bottle, but it happened, goddammit.
It happens. It happens.
And it happened.
It happens. I will tell you one thing. The White Sox played their asses off as to not try to get that record.
Yeah, they won more games.
They won like 4 in a row. I was like, are they gonna beat the record or are they just gonna tie it? Like, I was like, and then they beat it, and I was like, oh, that sucks.
I think they won more games in the last 2 weeks of baseball than they won the entire month of July.
I just looked at it. Their last 10, they were 5-5. They was 500 ball, which I don't think they were.
No.
Many times.
No. Dude, they lost 121 games. They were never playing 500 ball over a 10-game stretch. That's the only time it happened all year.
I was like, they trying. They're trying, and I got to give them credit for it.
Whoopee.
Not a lot of credit. Not a lot. Oh man, but I know we're ending this soon, but we lost some people. We lost some people in the sports world this year.
Yeah, like in last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Mutombo,
Pete Rose.
You're a Pete Rose fan.
I'm a Pete Rose guy. I personally think the man should be in the Hall of Fame. I've always said I think the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame is laughable for their rules. But the man he had a lifetime suspension from baseball. His life is now over. Let's not punish this man in the afterlife. Let him put him into the league now. Right? I've always thought that would be the worst. That would suck. But now I'm to the point where I'm like, no. In order for baseball to get it right, they got to tell that story, and he's got to go in.
There was nothing that man wanted more than to be in the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
That is all he wanted. That's all he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. He had a Hall of Fame career.
Yes.
And for him to live long enough to see sports gambling be so gosh darn prevalent.
And yes, and them pushing it.
Yes.
And all the major league sports pushing it.
Yeah, every team is sponsored by DraftKings or whatever, right? They
Mm-hmm.
all are. Every one of them. And he lived long enough. I'm trying to find I like the tweet too because it was like use code Pete Rose to get 20% back on your first bet using uh, DraftKings. It wasn't real, but I mean that's literally what it is. The man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. The fact is, the matter is, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame now because they're like it was a lifetime ban and now he's dead,
That
and it's
mm-hmm.
such a slap in the face
It is.
to his baseball career. The gambling didn't do anything. Like whatever, right?
No.
There's so many degenerate gamblers in the world that are, particularly in the sports world, that
Mm-hmm.
like for that to be the case, they just all those old codger dumbasses had a real stick up their ass for Pete Rose, and they weren't going to let, just like Barry Bonds, they're not going to let Barry Bonds in. Just like
No.
Roger Clemens, they're not going to let them in. They have
I'm
like the sanctity of the game. You guys
I'm
are
gonna tell you something.
frauds.
When all the stuff about Shohei Ohtani happened earlier this year,
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was no way any of that stuff was gonna stick to him.
Nope.
There is no way baseball would have allowed that to happen.
Nope.
Somebody had to fall on that sword, and that interpreter took off all took had to take it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Every bit of it.
we'll never know the true story to it. I just know it's a little fishy for that man to steal $7 million of his money, and the story changed rapidly multiple times. Baseball was never letting their star player get caught up in sports betting.
Nope.
It was never gonna happen.
Nope.
So I like I said, I've got two autograph memorabilia. I watched Pete Rose autograph my baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I sat next to Pete Rose, got to talk to Pete Rose, and it was still one of the funniest things. He was betting football, talking to his bookie in between signing baseballs in Vegas.
Yep.
I'm like, this man cannot stop betting on
He
sports.
cannot. I mean, it is. It's an addiction.
It's his vice, and he loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm a Pete Rose fan though.
It's the one of the greatest pure hitters ever. Like he wouldn't exist in today's baseball because today's baseball is
Hmm.
so different.
Yeah,
But what he was like is Charlie Hustle, man. He was a guy that ended a catcher's career in the All Star game,
an
right?
All Star game,
Right, like that's what he is. Like he only had two speeds, not moving and 100 miles an hour,
100 miles
and
an
that's
hour.
it. Right? He played for a long time. I remember when he got his 5,183rd hit or whatever it was. It was against the Cubs. I remember that. It was watching that. Yeah, like the fact that everybody has their time, and he was in his 80s, right? So he
83
lived a long life. It's just the fact that he didn't get a chance to
to see himself.
see
They was
himself
never
to
gonna let
give
him.
that
They were
speech.
never gonna
Never,
give.
and
They
he
were
never
never.
got that opportunity, and it is the absolute shame and a slap in the face to his baseball career that they did that to him.
His kids hopefully get to see him in.
Yeah,
His kids hopefully get to see him in. And
and I
like I
hope they
said,
roast the hell out of him in the acceptance speech. Just kill baseball for it, because baseball is one of the worst, like, run organizations. Like as far as like PR goes and like
hmm
promotion wise, they're just terrible at it.
yeah. And then, like I said, and then Matumbo lost that brain cancer
I didn't
at
even know he was sick.
58 or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But yeah, Matumbo was great.
Matoma was one of my favorite guys of that generation because
Hmm
just the finger wag, and
It,
he was 100% defense, and I like that.
exactly. It was a different time where you could be being him 4-time defensive player of the
Yep.
year, led the league in shot blocks 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
like, and you just didn't. He was a force in the paint,
Yeah.
like, and he could score a little.
A
He
little
had a
bit.
little
Yeah.
game to him.
Yeah.
The 18 point per game scorer, rebound, good, really good rebounder,
Yep.
really good shot blocker.
But he was
And
and that was an era where you scored points in the paint, right? You drove to the bucket, you scored points in the paint. He was a game changer because you had to
yes,
alter yourself to even get around him, right? Like
hmm
you couldn't go over him because he's too big,
yeah,
and you weren't going to
he's
move him. because he was.
He's definitely altering shots. Like we
Mhm.
don't have players like that
Mm.
anymore. You got Rudy Gobert getting defensive player of the year, and you're looking around and you're like, he can't guard anybody.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't shot block. Like he's 7'2" with a huge wingspan, whatever. I get it. He may alter shots, but does he really alter shots like they were altering shots in the 80s?
Mm.
Like, like when you see Rudy Gobert in the paint, do you think twice about stopping short and doing a pull up? Like I don't know
No.
if you do that anymore. And it's just it was a different time and defense was he was one of the best defenders from the center position I'd ever seen. Shaq was good, but Dikembe Mutombo was a better defender.
Just a big. Yeah, he just had that ability of knowing when to jump to block his shot.
Timing.
Timing, yeah.
His timing was great. I watched him block like 5 shots in a row. They've been showing his highlights.
Hmm.
And some of the timing is just like, okay, you're going up, I'm right there.
Hmm.
Like, and he knew he had long arms and he just knew how to just use his body. It was wiry.
Yep.
And them upsetting the Seattle Seahawks, the Supersonics,
Yep.
with him holding the ball up is always going to be a favorite.
That is
A
an
favorite of
iconic
mine.
photo of him laying on the ground, hold the ball. That was back when they had only had 5-game series in that first round.
Yep,
But
yep.
him doing that,
That's
yeah,
yeah. They beat that team. That was like a 60-win Supersonic
yeah,
team
that was the
too. It
8
was
seed
they
versus
were.
a 1 seed too. Yeah,
Mhm.
that never happened before. Like, but Tumbo, yeah, he was one of those guys that you loved to. I loved watching him play, and then afterwards, he still kind of had a bit of a prolific career. He did that commercial where he's blocking people throwing
No,
stuff in
no,
the
no.
grocery cart.
Yes.
You know, like uh, just who he was.
Ambassador of the game.
Hmm.
Listen to people tell stories about it now is really good.
Yeah,
And it lost him too soon. So
agreed. Oh, and then shamefully, his son, not his son didn't do it shamefully, but his son posted a photo with his dad. Uh, and his son was wearing a shirt that says the death penalty kills innocent people, which it does 100%. But ESPN cropped the photo to cut the shirt out, uh,
mm,
and shame on you, ESPN, for cropping
they,
that out because
mhm.
it's true. And it was proven true just this last week. And we're not going to talk politically on here, but fuck that shit. Uh, and yeah, too bad. I didn't know he was sick, so it's
Yeah, no. People you keep it hidden, keep it under wrap.
yep. Oh well. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna
get
do it.
to.
Harlan, you got to catch a flight in the morning, man.
I got a flight in the morning. Hopefully, I can watch the Mets win next tomorrow. It'd be great.
Well,
Get that